watching The 7 from WATE 6 on your side.
Good evening, I'm Bo Williams, and welcome to The 7. Let's get a look at the big 7 stories right now. And Knox County's district attorney wants to keep criminals sentenced to life in prison from having a shot at getting out in 25 years. Her pushback against the proposed law to make the change is at the top of our big 7 list for you tonight. You know, first, you need to know we're only talking about life with the possibility of parole. For those purposes, state law defines life as 60 years. That would not change. Currently, convicts have to serve 85% before parole eligibility, or 51 years. The proposal would change that to 60%, 36 years, and it comes with a minimum prison term of 25 years. That's because there are other ways sentences can be whittled down, like time off for good behavior. Across the country, there is debate about sentencing reform, often focused on harsh punishments for young offenders or decades-long drug sentences. Alan points out in Tennessee, you only get life for first-degree murder.
If there's anybody that deserves to be in the penitentiary in this state, it is an individual who takes the life of another individual. And to let them out any earlier than we currently let them out is wrong, in my opinion.
The change would apply to future and current lifers, more than 1,600 around the state. So for Allen, it means breaking promises to families who were promised 5 decades before a killer gets out. There's a financial aspect to this, too. The state estimates this could save taxpayers more than $20 million over the next 10 years. We're including the cost estimate documents with this story at WATE.com. We'll also include a link to a change.org petition against the proposal. Moving through the big 7 list, a man is found shot along a North Knoxville roadway. Police got the call around 3:45 today. They found the victim near High School Avenue and Rudy Street. This is just off of I-275 in Lonsdale. The officers found the crime scene in the parking lot of the Lonsdale Market in Delhi. Our crew shot some video of investigators and the crime lab processing team at the scene there, but at the moment, there are no suspects in custody. The victim was taken to UT Medical Center. At last check, he was in serious condition. Well, our next Big 7 story takes you up to the Smokies tonight, and we're following the process of extending Foothills Parkway. Check out this map we've got behind me here for the National Park Service, and in red, you see kind of the red line here going outlines. This is parts of the parkway already finished, west of Wares Valley and to the east between I-40 and Cosby. The unbuilt part, which you see right here, connecting those two, is outlined in yellow. And next for this project is the west side of that yellow section between Wares Valley and the Gatlinburg Spur. Now, we told you earlier in the month that the park wants to hear from the public about the plan. Members of the Smoky Mountains Hiking Club are weighing in, and they are sharing their concerns.
The park has made kind of a broad assessment called an environmental assessment, but that's not what we need or want. We need the deep dive into how this will affect not only the natural landscape, but the human experience in the park.
And we did reach out to the park today. They have not yet gotten back to us. The park has posted lots of information about the Foothills Parkway improvements on its website. And if you would like to leave a comment about the project, we will have that information on our website, WAT.com. And by the way, the federal government has been working on building the Foothills Parkway since 1944. All right, now to a big story coming out of Washington, D.C. President Joe Biden says there's at least a framework in place for his $1.75 trillion Build Back Better spending plan on social projects. The president is calling for 6 years of universal pre-K for 3- and 4-year-olds, elder care and home care funding, expanded Medicare to cover hearing benefits, affordable housing funding, and billions of dollars for climate initiatives. But items like a plan to reduce prescription drug prices, free community college, and Medicare expansion to cover dental and vision has been cut out. The president admitted it is a compromise.
No one got everything they wanted, including me. But that's what compromise is. That's consensus.
Many progressives in the House are still holding out for actual legislation. Speaker Pelosi says a text of the bill has been released, and some Democrats are, well, signaling their willingness to stay in D.C. through the weekend until both bills are ready for a vote. Back here in East Tennessee, our solidly Republican federal lawmakers are reacting negatively. Senator Marsha Blackburn responded with this tweet, quote, "Joe Biden is disguising a government takeover as spending." And here's Senator Bill Hagerty's take, quote, "No American believes that $1.75 trillion is fiscally responsible." He goes on to write, quote, "It's the radical big government socialism policies within the so-called framework that will harm our country and concerns them the most." And Congressman Tim Burchett from here in Knoxville tweeted a picture of a blank check describing it as a, quote, socialist scam and writing, quote, Mr. President, Halloween isn't until Sunday. Save your tricks for a few more days. Well, the big national story about supply chain problems makes our big local story, too. Today, we heard from Second Harvest Food Bank planning for the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays. Now, they saw the issues coming and started preparing back in June. The supply chain backup has impacted Second Harvest in several ways, including higher prices for simple goods like, say, potatoes. They're also receiving fewer donated items. Now, you've seen some of those grocery shelves empty. Well, that also hurts Second Harvest.
So what happens with the supply chain is if the restaurant cannot get the product, then obviously they don't have anything to donate. And if the grocer partner also cannot get enough of whatever product they're looking to purchase and they don't have any leftovers either, we no longer have as much food rescue.
Rachel Ellis says the East Tennessee community is a saving grace through the skyrocketing prices and short supply. While it might be harder to receive certain items, supporters are stepping up and giving more. Of course, Second Harvest always needs more to continue their mission of feeding the hungry, and you can look how to donate or volunteer on our website. Just go to WATE.com. Our last Big 7 story, advice for parents about the COVID-19 shot for kids ages 5 to 11. Pfizer's COVID vaccine for those younger kids still has a hurdle to clear, but that's expected to happen soon. In the meantime, the Knox County Health Department put out a video today directed at parents who are thinking about getting their kids vaccinated.
We encourage parents to go ahead and start having those conversations with your child's pediatrician. That way, if and when the vaccine becomes available in the near future, you can feel confident that your questions have already been answered by the doctor or provider that knows your child the best.
COVID has been top of mind for a while now, and the health department wants to make sure you don't forget about the flu. KCHD is encouraging people to go ahead and make plans now to get the flu vaccine. Lawmakers in Nashville are into day 2 of the special session, focusing on efforts to roll back COVID-19 restrictions coming from courts and the federal government. Governor Bill Lee was here in Oak Ridge talking about that session today.
It's just begun, and I can't really speculate on what pieces of legislation they will bring forward. We'll look at it as it gets closer to our desk.
Remember, the governor did not call this special session. Tennessee legislators did. Also this afternoon, we learned Tennessee's Attorney General and 20 other attorneys general from states around the country are now disputing the federal contractor vaccine mandate. Also today, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has been charged with a misdemeanor sex crime. Court spokesman says the charge is forcible touching. This accusation goes back to last December and a claim that Cuomo put his hand under the blouse of a victim. Cuomo resigned in August after an investigation that found he sexually harassed 11 women, including current and former state employees. Cuomo has denied all allegations of sexual misconduct or harassment. Big news in the social media world tonight. Facebook has a new name. Well, the parent company does, at least. It is now called Meta. Meta is also the company that owns Instagram and WhatsApp. The new name is to bring attention to their new virtual reality focus. The flagship social network will still keep, though, the Facebook name.